matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's now in his 11th season in the league, Matthew Stafford at 31 years of age.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On the draw, this is Fournette. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time. And now it's 2nd down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play. But they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one. Because this defense, they love to run blitz. And they clog up the running lanes.
Now Leonard Fournette. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So Doug Marrone's Jaguars set to take over. They'll be led out by the third overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Now a run with Hyde. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true number 1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
On second down, Hyde. He takes this for 3 to the 29. A look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. From the gun on 3rd down, Stanford. And he's got Hireman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there, and a Buccaneer first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards there, and a Buccaneer first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Now a play fake, and it's Stanford. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Fournette. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. By the end of that one, he was knocking on the door for 200 yards.
And that was as good as I've seen him run the football. I mean, he absolutely attacked that defense. It looked like he was on the varsity, and they were scrimmaging the JV.
Fournette. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. This is Hill on the draw play. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
Have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 23 yards, the final tally.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Back to throw, Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Darnold now to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Allen Bailey coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. but that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. Last week, what a game. He was knocking on the door for 200.
And one of the things I saw come out of last week's game in his post-game press conference, he gave a lot of credit to the offensive line, as you might expect. He also talked about the wide receivers blocking on the perimeter because no big game happens unless wide receivers block as well.
And watching film, you showed me he also made people miss. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the 17, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Stafford on 1st down. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing is Stafford. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. All right, gearing up for another drive here. Austin Hooper trots back out. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far, is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance.
It got his man complete. 27 yards there, a first down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. So complete there, Rodgers. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Off of play action, Darnold. And finding the tight end Hooper. 23 yards on the play.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's first and 10, down at the 31. To the air again, Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second and 10. From the gun, a give to Hyde. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And he's got Rodgers. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. It's first and 10 from the 12. A quick throw here out to Brown. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A gain of 6 there on first. On second down and 4, Darnold, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Antonio Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point good by Gostkowski, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this first-half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By being really good on that side of the ball in terms of fundamentals, being in the right spot, diagnosing plays well, and being there at the point of attack. They are really making it happen.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Fournette, a first down carry. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Fournette on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur. They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Hyde. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Pulled in at the 24. They'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And a look at Jeremy Hill as he heads back out there now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll run with Fournette. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. First down now that the clock continues to move. Stafford now to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away, and it's second down. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Robinson's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's out to his running back, Fournette. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now it's Stafford. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. From the gun, Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Again, it's Stafford. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. 3rd and 2, Darnold. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. This is caught, and he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards, and the Jaguars have retaken the lead.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. Well, special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And that makes it 14-10. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. That's complete to Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This is Fournette. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. It's complete to Robinson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On first down, Stafford here. This is caught by Robinson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Well, nothing takes a start out a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. They run it again with Hyde. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And Hyde will not get there as they force him to the ground shy of the marker. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Throwing is Stafford. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Stafford now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
2nd
and 5 now. Stafford. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Fournette running right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On second down, it's Hill. And he'll go down at the 28. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down on the 37. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
That's our ball, baby.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Hyde. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Bus formation. Come on, boys, come on.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. On second down, Hyde. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now it's Darnold. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th.
A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Stafford. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that's caught by Smith. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Chester Rogers that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Back to the air. Darnold on second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He finds his running back, Hyde. The third down run gets him nothing. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there.
And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Stafford. Robinson's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That one good for 26 and a first down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Again, it's Fournette.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Off the draw, here's Hill. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Stafford. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up and they tend to play well.
Hyde. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Darnold on 3rd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield, and get your team in position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Now the ball comes loose, and the Jags grab it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's high. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Hyde. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And Darnold wants to throw the football. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Check.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 10. A little over a minute to go. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Jeff Hireman, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.
56, I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, That tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Jacksonville, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.